Everybody, come have a seat while we read some old school Conjure, Hoodoo, Rootwork, and Magic by Sarah Casas. Sit down, grab a cup of tea, and let's do some reading together about Conjure. Right now, we're on to the chapter that's going to be talking about light and lamps, and so far, it's been excellent. So, the first section of the chapter called Light, which is, well, it doesn't say the chapter. The first section it goes into is candles. A customer gave me this ultra rad book stand. She was in the restaurant that I work at, and she comes in every day at lunch, and she was reading a book. And I was like, that is awesome. That is seriously awesome. I could use that in my everyday life. And she was like, oh, are you a book reader? And I was like, I am a tangible book reader. So that was super nice of her. Like, I can't believe it. And then she came back 2 days later and was like, I went through my storage thing and I saw that I had a bunch of them. I knew I had them. And I was like, that is so sweet. Not only did she leave me an excellent tip, but she also thought of me beyond the restaurant and then went and put some action into it. So this book stand to me is a little bit magical, I gotta say. Okay, lights. I want to talk to you about candles and oil lamps in this section of the book. The oil lamp section is crazy amazing. I'm getting me some oil lamps. Working with candles, or what some old workers call lights, or vigils. This is very old in Conjure. But what is even older is the oil lamp. Oil lamps date back before the time of Christ. Fire has always been a part of spiritual work from the time first people discovered it. Whatever the candle lights... Where are we at? I had to turn on the fan. Sorry, I'm feeling a little nauseous this morning. Whatever the candle lights, lamps, or an actual fire, folks and spiritual workers alike recognized the power of the fire and what you can do with it. The flame of a lamp or candle burning draws spirit. That's what I'm always saying. They are both great tools to draw spirit into your work. Let's look at the benefits of candles in the work, and then we will look at the benefits of working with oil lamps. I feel that both are very beneficial to the work in their own way. Candles. I have found in my workings that wax acts like a magnet and will hold your prayers or anything that you are trying to remove. And as this candle burns, your prayers are sent out. I was taught that there's one rule that needs to be followed if you want to work with, there's one rule that needs to follow if you want your work to be a success. And that is, before you do any type of candle work, you need to give yourself a good cleansing. You can do a quick cleansing using a small candlestick, a small stick candle, a small broom, or a chicken foot. You simply brush yourself down, going downward, praying to the Holy Trinity that everything be removed that is not good for you or could hinder your work. And we just did stuff on chicken's feet, so I have a chicken foot that I can take, claw side down. If the foot looks like this, you don't want to have it be upside down. You want the claws to be towards your head, and then pull that energy all the way down to your toes and out and away from you, and go in a circle around your body. And I've definitely demonstrated that for you guys in a video. But see here, I have this wax coming down onto the stem of this squash. And last night, I sit and did some workings with that. See how the wax just kind of beautifully falls off? I think that that's amazing. And if you wanted to hold and preserve energy from something that you were doing, whether it be positive or negative, you could definitely tap into that. Yes, I do. Once you do the cleansing and dress your head and hands with some type of oil, then you are ready to start work. This may seem like a lot of effort just to light a candle, but it's the little things that can make or break a job. I take extra steps with my work because I don't want to have to redo it over and over. I feel I put a little extra into my work from the start. It'll be a success. The first thing I do when I'm going to start a new candle work is, of course, a quick cleansing, and then I'll wipe the candle down with a wash. With the wash that I make to clean my candles with before I put them to work. This cleans off anything that the wax may have picked up in the making of the candle or from the thrift shop, because that's where I get mine. Thrift shop candles, you know, for Hoodoo might not be, or for Conjure and Hoodoo, might not be such a good idea if you don't know if you can cleanse the energy out of the wax. Because it's not only been at the thrift store, it was at a regular store before that, and then in people's homes. So, there's a chance that because wax is so grabbing that you might not want to use it. However, I'm super sensitive with energy, and I've not felt anything like that. But I didn't know that before, so now I just have to pay attention and see, like, if I notice it now, yeah? Oh, I'm so sorry I'm nauseous. I wish my person was in better spirits. Okay, you need, so to make the wash that you're going to want to clean off the wax with, you need 3 tablespoons of salt, 3 bay leaves, and a pinch of rue. I really need rue. R-U-E. I don't have any. Pray over each ingredient and then add it to your pot of water. Bring the ingredients to a boil and remember to pray over them. Once the mixture comes to a boil, turn the fire off and let the wash cool. Once the wash is cooled, use a white cloth and wipe the candle that you will be working with off. Make sure to wipe the inside wax that is in the glass encased candle too. It's talking about the top in here of your 3-day candle. It's that statement's talking about actually rubbing it on the inside of the wax as well, because you can't touch the wax here, obviously. Okay. Oh, I almost did something bad. Okay. Then I wake the candle up. I stir the spirit in the wax by blowing 3 breaths into the wax and tapping the candle on the altar 3 times. So let's say you have your candle. 3 breaths. 3 times. Sorry, Eleanor, but you know, you've been spitting that thing out for days anyway. What is your deal? Oh, and look at the wax is dripping right as we talk. You're supposed to stay in the dish. Stay in the dish. Sometimes if you move the candle, when you have a fan, now it's not going to follow that drip, it'll make a new drip. So you guys can actually do pretty cool candle art just by having a fan going and moving your candle around, or putting a fan directly on your candle. You can get some pretty amazing wax stuff to happen. Okay, so wake the candle up, stir up the wax 3 times, breathing on it, tap it on the altar 3 times. This will get things moving so you can fix the candle to do the job you need. I load a little of my ingredients into my candles by either using an old screwdriver. What a good idea, better than my chopstick idea. An old screwdriver to make 3 holes in the wax of the glass encased candle. And you push the screwdriver down around the wick and kind of close to the glass so you don't interfere the wick 3 times. And you would want to make that screwdriver your new magical screwdriver. So you better believe it. Today I'm making myself a new magical screwdriver. And you can get those at thrift shops, charity shops. I wouldn't go to a hardware store because even a cheap one's $10, you know. So just go thrift shop and pay $2 or less. Or ask your father, Father, do you have a screwdriver I could have that's, you know, you don't need anymore? Or your mother. I mean, women have screwdrivers too. I'm sorry for putting that in a stereotypical gender role. Yeah, whoever. Ask an adult in your life if they have a screwdriver you can have. Okay. I load a little my ingredients using a screwdriver. Or if you have a pillar candle, you can do holes in the bottom of the pillar candle. If you can't make the hole, you can set the candle in a bowl and sprinkle the ingredients around the candle. So let's say my hand is a bowl. You would just put your herbs in the bowl all around the outside of the candle, you see? Any of these methods will work. Once you have the candle fixed, you need to call spirit into the candle. Call the Holy Trinity first, and whatever spirit you'll be working with, like this. Holy Trinity and Holy Spirit, be a part of this candle now for me and my workings. Thank you for all of the assistance you've helped me with thus far. Thank you for all the excess we've had thus far. All my gracious is given unto you, as you are with me all the time, through the spirit and the light of the candle. Something like that. I mean, that's just what my intuition was telling me to say, so I said it. Hopefully it sounded alright. It seems like a lot of work, but once you get into the habit of it, then the steps will become natural. There are different types of candles you can work with, like stick candles, vigils, pillars, jar candles, and pull-outs. I don't know what a pull-out candle is. If you want to draw something to you, then you roll your candle and the ingredients toward you. If you want something to come to you, you have to roll things toward you or fold things toward you. Remember that. While you're praying your prayer and petition, that's when you want to roll it toward you. To draw and sweeten, you can use magnetic sand that has been magnetized, powdered sugar, the herb, master of the woods, and cinnamon. To remove someone or something from you, roll the candle away from you. The ingredients for removing are a photo or petition burned to ash, calamus root, red pepper, a dirt dauber nest, and a dirt dauber nest. What is a dirt dauber? Oil the candle well with some kind of spiritual oil, and then you roll the candle away from you while saying, in the name of the Holy Trinity, that person or situation is removed from me, and then state your petition and prayer in a strong, firm voice like I was doing. I was taught to work with stick candles for this type of work, although nowadays there's a variety of candles to choose from. I think one of my favorite candles, other than the stick candle, is the pull-out candle. What I said. They are good for candle burning because you can mark the candle before you load it into the jar. And then feed the jar with what will contain your candle with powders, roots, herbs, photos, and much more. I gotta figure out what a pull-out candle is. This sounds great. It is also easy with a vigil candle, a candle that is encased in glass and usually burns about 6 days. Okay, so I guess they're calling these a vigil candle, but mine are inexpensive wax, so they only burn for like 3 days tops, especially with a fan on. So I guess we're calling these vigil candles. I wonder if a pull-out candle is a vigil candle that actually comes out of the glass. I'm not sure. candle and burns about 6 days. Because you can read the wax as the candle burns and find signs in the glass as the smoke rises from the wick. Here are a few ways to tell what is going on with the burn as the candle flame does the work. If the vigil burns black in the flame or the glass, then you need to do an uncrossing on yourself and redo the work. Hold on, I think I have an example of that. Nope. Darn it. What I was trying to look for, you guys, was one of these that had a black edge or black burning at the top, because any burn marks that are left behind, that's the sign he's talking about. However, I gotta tell you something. I didn't know this, but you sure can accidentally get a burn mark on this type of thing that I don't want to say out loud. So now I'm going to be turning that into dust, obviously, or cutting it up for a spell or something, or who knows, but I won't be doing that again. I won't be placing $1 directly on the outside of this candle, and you shouldn't either, because I didn't know that that could actually happen. But back to the original thing we're talking about. If you see black burn marks on the top of any of your candles, then it means that if the vigil burns black in the flame or the glass, then you need to do an uncrossing on yourself and redo the work, because there are blocks standing in your way. If the flame is small or keeps going out, then there are blocks in your work or someone that is trying to stop you from getting what you want. I've had more than I can count candles that I just could not keep lit. For whatever reason, I just couldn't keep lit. And this book is telling me that the reason for that is that what I've written on the side of my candle and what I've asked for can't happen for some reason. So I need to do an uncrossing or an unblocking on myself for that issue. So that's super cool information. If the flame is smaller, keeps going out, then there are blocks. Okay. If the flame is strong, then that's a good sign of that your work will be a success. You can read these signs in any candle you burn, including oil lamps. You simply have to understand the way the flame works. If you watch the flame as the candle burns, you'll get an idea of where your work is headed, because the candle flame will always tell you how the work is going and what actions might be needed to take. Remember that prayer plays a big part in successful candle burning, so does faith. Okay, here's what I have to say, because I haven't said it in this video. I said it in all the other videos in my Conjure series. In witchcraft, some people firmly believe that Christianity has no place in witchcraft. Okay, and what I have to say to that is, maybe you don't know enough about certain branches of Christianity, and or understand that there are a lot of Christians out there that are very, very open-minded, and there's a lot that are very, very close-minded, just like any religion. There are a lot of Christians that just have Jesus as a basis God. You know, they're like, I believe in God, but I'm not religious at all. Here's what I'm trying to say. The Bible, and I don't mean to offend anyone by saying that, but like, your mind should be open to anybody being able to practice witchcraft. And your mind should be open to, understand that Conjure itself isn't Conjure without the Bible. The Bible, if you take out the Bible from Conjure, you're obviously still doing some pretty powerful workings, because there's so much energy involved in this work, so many cool ingredients involved in this work that I haven't seen otherwise. so much heart. And this Conjure was built from one of the most interesting energy manifestations I've ever known, which is like being drugged from Africa, becoming slaves, and then being forced to follow this religion. Okay? Then they hid their magic inside of the Bible so that their slave owners wouldn't condemn them for practicing the witchcraft. So they just made it look like they were reading the Bible, reading Psalms, doing all that. So I have to say that, and I'm going to make a video just on talking about Christianity and witchcraft. And I'll say this again, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a pagan, I'm not a Wiccan. I'm eclectic. I love to honor many gods, and Jesus is one of them, and he always has been. So, still a part of my life, not a big part, has never been an actual big part of my life, Jesus. But really formed me into a good human being as I was growing up, and I thank Peggy and Dawn for that so much. They didn't take us to church a bunch. We went like once a month or something. But it was enough to where we like had a grasp of right and wrong, had a grasp of sin, if you will, and why you shouldn't do it, heaven, you know, these kinds of things. It's a good... It's better to me, in my opinion, than having a child that has no conception of a higher being. But every parent does it their own way, and I completely respect that. I just wanted to say that the Bible is a part of Conjure, and if you take it out, it's not Conjure. Alright. Where are we? If the flame is small and keeps going out, then there are blocks in your work, or someone is trying to stop you from getting what you want. If the flame is strong, then that's a good sign your work will be a success. You can read these signs in any candle you burn, including oil lamps. You simply have to understand that. I'm sorry that we already read that. Simply have to understand the way the candle burns. You'll get an idea of where your work is headed because the candle flame will always tell you how the work is going and what actions might need to be taken. Remember that prayer plays a big part in a successful candle burning. So does faith. When you work, you have to know with all your heart that the job is a success. There can be no room for doubt, otherwise you might cross your own hard work and efforts up. Below, you will find a few simple candle workings using a candlestick, a vigil light, and a pillar candle. Interesting. I'm excited. 3 different types of candles in one spell. And this is a spell to draw money. So, when I'm done reading the book to you guys, I'll be doing a video on that spell. And all the spells within this book, because I think that they're so interesting and so cool. And I'm really excited to practice with them with you guys. And we can make it our own a little bit, which we always should do in witchcraft anyway. Okay, this is a simple little work to draw money into the home. You will be working with a stick candle to draw in prosperity. You need a white handkerchief, powdered herbs, your petition, cinnamon, sugar, and some type of spiritual oil. Earlier in this book it says you can make spiritual oil by saying Psalms 23 or the Lord's Prayer into a bottle of brand new olive oil, and then that makes it spiritual oil. Okay? And you want to breathe your breath all over into it, because it's not used for cooking. You know, breathe your breath into it. Maybe get a little saliva in there. It doesn't matter. It's going to be for anointing yourself, anointing candles, things like that. Lay the white handkerchief out on the altar. Then burn your petition to ash and mix with the powdered herbs. Or you can use just cinnamon and sugar if that's all that you've got. Write your name on the candle, then dress the candle toward you with the oil. So rolling it in the dressing oil toward you. Toward you. From the top to the bottom. Roll the candle in your power towards the white handkerchief. Holding the candle, choose holding the candle, close your mouth, say the prayer, and light your stick candle and place it in a candle holder on a white hanky. When the candle burns out, bury any leftover wax in your yard at the east with the hanky wrapped around it. Oh my God. My husband told me I can't bury much more in the yard, and so that means a lot of stuff's going to be hanging around here. It's really going to look like a witch's house. Okay, here's another one. An idea. This one's called a loaded blockbuster candle. We're at 25 minutes already. Wow. So after I read to you about the loaded blockbuster candle, I can talk about an attraction vigil, and then that's the end of candles, and then we're on to oil lamps. So I gotta read. There are many times when nothing we seem to do will work. When those times arise, it is time for some blockbuster work to remove whatever is in the way or holding us back. In this work, you will use a large pillar candle. If you can't find an orange or purple candle, then use one of those. If you can find an orange or purple, then use one of those colors. If you can't, then just a white one. Purple is a powerful color and also one of the colors mentioned in the Bible. It's also the color of alchemy. So it is a good color to work with for this work. It's also the color of the crown chakra, which is closest to spirit. Okay? Purple's really beautiful color. Take a pair of small scissors or a knife and dig a hole either in the bottom or the side of the candle. The reason you use scissors or a knife is because you are removing the blocks that are holding you back. Scissors and knives are cutting things away. So they will cut away any magic that has been done to you or to block you. Save the wax from the hole. You need a bowl to set your candle on. You need John 14, verse 1 through 14 torn from an old Bible or copied. Why torn from an old Bible? Then you write your petition on top of it. Okay? Also, you need one small piece of high John root. I don't know about defacing books like that, but I mean, I don't know. Burn the Bible verses to ash along with your petition. Mix with a little powdered angelica root. Load your powder and the high John into the hole. Fill the hole with wax, the wax that you removed. Write your name on the candle along with I knocked and the door was open. Set the candle on the plate and sprinkle the leftover powder all around the candle. Light the candle and pray all blocks be removed. Take any leftover wax to the crossroads along with 5 pennies and leave it there. Then it goes on to tell you the verse that you can say, write down, or tear out of the Bible. And the last thing, which we'll do a video on surely I'm sure as well, is called Attraction Vigil. Sometimes there is a need for work to draw something to us that we need or want. This could be a new job, a place to live, a promotion, or even a new cat. I thought it said it says a new car. I thought it said a new cat. There is an old saying that nothing is free in life and you have to work for whatever you want. I have found that the best way to do this kind of work is to burn hard until you reach your goal. Burning hard means that you will keep the candle work going. I'm burning hard all the time, you guys. See this one back here? It hasn't been unlit or keep continually lit for, I think we're on like 3 months now. And I light these guys from that. So I'm burning hard all the time. Burning hard! I love that phrase. Before one candle burns out, you should light another and keep the work hot. Exactly. Oh my God, you guys. Burn hard. Burn hard like me, because I think that you'll see such a humongous... And see how I already have one set here? Blessing it in by my candle that I've already got going. You know? And this one's ready to go as soon as I need it. All I have to do is write my intentions on it. And then light it from that other one. Oh, I'm so in love with that. Attraction Vigil, burning hard. Okay, so for this job you need a red or white vigil. Funny, because that's the 2 I have. You also need a large flat magnet, a round mirror, and a white plate. You need a picture of your desire. You write the name on the wax and close to the wax, well, as close to the wax wall as you can. Around the wick, write, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Make 4 holes in the wax, top, bottom, right, and left. Load the vigil with your petition and a pinch of attraction powder, along with a few drops of oil. Tape your picture to the outside of the candle, so the picture will be looking at the flame. So you would put your picture on there backwards, so that the white side was out and you couldn't see the picture. That way, the picture of you is looking at the flame. Okay. Looking at the flame as the candle burns. Set the mirror on the white plate and then set the magnet on top of the mirror. Set your candle on the magnet, so you're going to have all these layers. God, Conjure's cool. Put a ring of sugar around the candle. Then pour a ring of whiskey over the sugar. Light the candle and say your prayers that you are in need of what you are in need of, and it will come to you. Let your candle burn until it burns out. But make sure that you have your new candle burning before this one goes out. Keep it hot. Burn hard. Then you should try to bury any leftovers in your yard facing east or by the front door. If there is wax left in the jar, dig it out. And this is what I bury. Okay, you guys, I'm cutting off the video so it doesn't turn into 2. Jen the Taxidermy Witch, come back for oil lamps. Love you guys.